Hey, you're late, Lacey.
When ain't we?
This is Indian Creek, folks.
Huh?
Pietro, the baggage.
Oh, see?
Say, you're a foreigner, ain't you?
Yeah, foreigner.
Who are you looking for?
Antonio Mandatti. We have come to his wedding.
Oh, well, you're going to have an awful long wait.
I don't understand.
Well, Mandatti, he's dead. Had an accident yesterday morning. Well, that's where everybody is. They're up on the hill putting him away.
Benedetta la sua anima. Porti pagali indietro. Sì.
From out of the West, Dick Powell, Zane Grey Theater. Tonight star Fernando Lamas.
How long ago was it that Antonio Mandatti came here? 2 years ago? 3? Yet in that time, this immigrant to our land won the affection of every man and woman in Indian Creek. But more than that. Yes, more even than the gold he found in the hills behind our city, the gold that made him rich. Antonio found what every man seeks. Elizabeth Randall, who Antonio was to marry, we join you in your bereavement. But there's something else that must be said on this occasion. I mention it here, an earthly matter, because Liz has asked me to. Since there are no other heirs, she will, as you know, inherit Tony's estate. She wants you to know that she intends to follow his wishes to the letter. Yes, he shall have his memorial, the dam which he himself started for this drought-stricken land. His money will complete it.
Reverend,
Yes?
I am Giulio Mandatti, Antonio's brother.
I'm Cliff Randall, your brother's lawyer.
How do you do, sir?
This is my daughter, Liz.
Yes. It could only be you. In all his letters, Antonio wrote so much about you. I share your sorrow. Signora Randall, these people, they must have loved my brother, but I don't know, somehow I feel they resent me very much.
Well, for one thing, Mandatti, they never guessed you existed. For another, well, you've suddenly come between them and something they want very badly and need.
Yes, the dam.
But this is hardly the place to discuss that or to get acquainted. Come to my house for supper?
I shall be honored.
There is much money.
Well, for the way they are taking it, much more than we expected. We'll find out tonight anyway.
I congratulate you, Alberto Fortunato. You are a genius.
Pietro, from now on, I am Giulio. Giulio Mandatti. Capito? Also a letter of Antonio telling me of his new wealth, inviting me to his wedding. This is a copy of my commission in my country's army. And this is a picture of my mother, of our mother.
Antonio carried the identical one in his wallet. That's good enough for me, Giulio. I'm sure these other papers will satisfy the court. I'll take them in first thing in the morning. Any idea how much your brother's mine is worth?
No. He wrote he found gold, so naturally I assume several $1,000s.
$500,000.
Santa Maria.
Of course, a lot of that still has to be mined. Even so, the amount of cash on hand is considerable.
You must really think me quite a vulture. I mean, arriving on this day.
Julio, no.
No, she's right, Julio. Antonio would have been happy knowing you're here. Fact is, he spent months trying to locate you. Finally figured you were dead. Naturally, we assumed Liz would be his heir.
And in that case, the town will get the dam.
Well, you can call it a town today. What it'll be like a year from now is something else.
Oh, Papa.
Oh, I'm not blaming him, Liz. I hope he knows that. Still, I think now he'll understand just why the folks around here feel the way they do.
Yes. I understand perfectly well. But you, Signorina, I do not understand. You're not bitter against me? Even if I tell you I will keep the money?
Today isn't for bitterness, Julio. Only for memories. And the money is yours.
The hotel belongs to me, and I'm kind of choosy about my guests.
Gil, it's Antonio's brother.
Don't care who he is, Liz. Besides, you're just too soft-hearted. Another thing, Mandotti. Matt Wills, the superintendent of the mine, ain't going to work for you. That goes for the rest of your miners. They figure since you're going to keep that money for yourself, you can scratch for that gold with your fingers.
Where can I find this Matt Wills?
At Patterson's saloon, probably. But I don't recommend your going there.
I'm not an engineer, Mr. Randall. I need this man. I'll be back for the bags.
Papa, don't you think that...
Yes, Liz, I know. I'll get the buckboard.
I'm looking for a Matt Wills. I was told I could find him here. Also the rest of the men who work for my brother.
You want a drink, Mandotti? Buy it. Then get out.
Mandotti, I'm going to do a service for the community. I'm going to kill you.
Julio!
Signorina, do not approach.
Who started this? How did it happen?
Evidently I did by coming to this place. All I wanted was to tell them that I would honor my brother's promise. That I'd complete the dam, that they will get their water.
And why didn't you say that in the first place?
Because, Mr. Patterson, I don't like being threatened. As the older brother, Antonio was the one chosen to mend the fortunes of the family. What better place than in this new land, America? I tried to make them the best of my fate. I joined the revolution.
He told me you fought with Garbaldi.
Yeah. The fight still goes on. Endless. You see, like your George Washington, Garibaldi has sworn to give Italy its freedom. But we are a poor people. We must use every weapon, every trick we know.
It's a good thing to remember, Fortunato.
Stai zitto!
Fortunato?
Yes, he's our superior. Garibaldi's right hand. Very outstanding man. Pietro always calls me that name when he wants to compliment me. I would like you to meet him someday.
Someday. In the meantime, let's worry about Giulio Mandati. Do you think he can rest quietly?
Oh, yes, he barely touched me. How about you getting some rest?
Yes. Buonanotte.
Buonanotte.
Cosa hai fatto?
All right. Fortunato. Fortunato. Right hand of Garbaldi. Downstairs, you tell him you give the money for the dam. Now, do you mind telling a stupid captain what made you so generous?
Did it ever occur to you, Captain Polly, that the miners might not come back to mine our gold without that promise? And that promises are cheap?
All right, I'm satisfied.
We came here to beg for the money. Now suddenly the town thinks it's mine by right. Now suppose you leave the strategy to me, eh?
Well, you have done very well, I admit it. In a moment's notice to become Antonio's brother, and with only a few mementos to prove it. It's no simple trick.
Yeah. And suddenly Antonio's gold becomes Garibaldi's. Some trickery, as you say. Honorable business.
Hey, for Garibaldi, what can be dishonorable, huh? Go to sleep, Fortunato. Go to sleep and dream of the medals you'll get, eh?
Matt, that'll do all right. Ready for blasting. Good. You see, I'm learning.
You sure are, Julio.
Is that for me?
Third month's figures. The way we're running a ton, we ought to clear 30,000.
30,000, that's something, huh, Julio?
Yeah. More than I expected.
Only tell Pietro here you trust me, huh? I get the feeling he like to check my pockets every night.
Good morning, Liz.
Hello, Julio. Pedro.
What?
Matt saw your wife. She said try and get home early tonight.
I will if these slave drivers will let me.
So what is this? Are you the milkman?
Water for the Robertsons. Their well's gone dry. But the reason I stopped, Pat Duncan at the freight office asked me to deliver this letter. He said you might know what to do with it. It's for your fabulous Signor Fortunato. First name Alberto.
Well, you see, we were supposed to be back a long time ago, and I suppose he's coming over here to find out what delayed us.
And I'll have a chance to meet him and tell him how grateful we are to both of you. In the meantime, climb on. Come with me to the Robertsons. Come on, I dare you.
Pietro, guarda gli affari. Andiamo! Hop!
Sure grateful. Fact is, the whole valley will owe you a debt come that dam this fall. We need it, mister. We need it bad.
Oh-ho! Thank you, Liz. I had a wonderful time.
Thank you.
You know, I may not want to go back to Italy.
I did not think you wanted to go back. Neither does our commander, General Garbaldi. He would like to know when the mission will end.
In the future, Captain, I will read my own mail.
Ah, good. And when you do, you will see that this is the second letter he has written. Where is the first one, Fortunato? Suppose it should arrive tomorrow, huh? Then what?
It's worth the risk. Next month, we'll have almost 500,000 lire for our cause.
Oh. Is it the cause that concerns you, my friend? Or is it Antonio's a woman?
Captain, you're insubordinate. You better watch your tongue.
I would shoot my own brother if I thought he was standing in our way. But Fortunato, I've been thinking. I have a plan.
I can hardly wait to hear it.
With the utmost respect for your superior intelligence, Your Honor.
Say it!
We try for Sonora tonight. In the morning, with luck, we'll be on our way to New York. With enough gold to bring us our victory.
Captain, it doesn't disturb you that these people will have no dam. Will have no water.
There is plenty of gold. They can have their dam next year.
Next year, this valley will be a desert.
So let it be a desert. How many guns for Garbaldi will 500,000 lira buy?
Our war is not only guns, Captain. What about the ideals we fight for?
What about Giulio Mandate, who died in your arms? Have you forgotten him?
I forget nothing. But why should these people pay?
Who cares about these people? This is not our country.
Isn't it, Captain? Isn't it? What's the difference between this and the poor sand and rocks of Italy?
You're right, Fortunato. You're right. I weep for the people of Indian Creek, all right? I weep until my heart breaks. Now, shall we make ready for our journey, huh?
Thank you, Ella. Thank you, Ella.
Papa! Pat!
Liz? You give Giulio the letter?
Of course. He said that man Fortunato must be in America, on his way here. But I don't know what's bothering you. He might have stopped off in New York, anywhere.
That letter to Fortunato was the second one, Liz. The first Pat held in his office for over a month.
Yes, you see, Liz, when I got the second one, I brought them both to your father. He saw something funny about it and wired New York.
To the police there, Liz. Got a wire back today.
Yes?
A man named Alberto Fortunato, known to be an Italian revolutionary, arrived in this country over 3 months ago. With him was an aide, a Captain Pietro Poli.
And Giulio Mandati?
No record of him anywhere.
Then why did you make me take the letter to Giulio, to this Fortunato today?
Had to be sure, Liz. We figured that if he got the letter and wasn't the real Giulio Mandati, he'd guess we were on to him and make a run for it. With the gold, probably.
Yes, you see, Liz, half of the men in this town are out at South Pass tonight. Anybody trying to get out of this valley tonight is just as good as dead. Are you coming?
If you were a man, Liz, I'd tell you to get good and drunk.
I wonder how Garibaldi would decide if we had him here to question.
As I have. He's a soldier first.
I'm not so sure.
I am a soldier too. And if necessary, Fortunato, I will kill you.
Giulio? Giulio? Giulio?
Call her.
Here, Liz.
Going somewhere, Giulio? With the wagon loaded? Here, you can't go without your orders from Italy.
La Mazza. This letter, Signorina. You showed this to somebody after you read it? Maybe your father, perhaps?
My father wasn't home.
Oh. Probably was, but you did not show him because of pride, huh? All right, suppose we take the seat of honor, huh, Comandante? And you, Signorina, you will sit in the seat beside him. Andiamo. Presto! Now we go. To the South Pass, the three of us. Now, one thing, Signorina. If we meet anybody, you will talk with them. You will make sure we are to the South Pass by morning. I count on you. Andiamo. Do not get any crazy ideas, huh, Fortunato? Think of a guns, huh? Guns for Garbaldi.
How?
For Garbaldi.
Bad, Captain?
The shoulder. Well, perhaps La Senorina will bandage me up, huh?
Help me into the wagon with him.
Since my daughter has always been aware that Antonio Mandati was sympathetic to the cause of his native Italy, she's therefore decided to contribute a sum of money to the army of Garibaldi.
Thank you.
Go on, son. Open it.
Oh, the thought is everything. The amount is unimportant.
$50,000 is a lot of money. George Washington would have grabbed it.
So will Garibaldi. Right, Pietro?
That's right. Fortunato.
We are very, very grateful.
Yes, and you can be grateful that she didn't let us hang you.
Thank you.
Goodbye, sir. I'll be back.
I'll be waiting.
Arrivederci.
Thrown by 4-star.
Hey, you're late, Lacey.
What ain't we?
This is Indian Creek, folks.
Huh?
Pietro, the baggage.
Oh, say, you're a foreigner, ain't you?
Yeah, foreigner.
Who are you looking for?
Antonio Mandati. We have come to his wedding.
Oh, well, you're going to have an awful long wait.
I don't understand.
Well, Mandati, he's dead. Had an accident yesterday morning. Well, that's where everybody is. They're up on the hill putting him away.
Benedetta la sua anima. Porti bagagli indietro. Sì.
From out of the West, Dick Powell, Zane Grey Theater. Tonight star Fernando Lamas.
How long ago was it that Antonio Mandati came here? 2 years ago, 3? Yet in that time, this immigrant to our land won the affection of every man and woman in Indian Creek. But more than that. Yes, more even than the gold he found in the hills behind our city, the gold that made him rich. Antonio found what every man seeks. Elizabeth Randall, who Antonio was to marry, we join you in your bereavement. But there's something else that must be said on this occasion. I mention it here, an earthly matter, because Liz has asked me to. Since there are no other heirs,